Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So we have the long awaited Sarah Ingham downfall, I guess. That's all I can say about it. I think some of you may have spotted yesterday's little rampage on Instagram and the hatred and the you know, the war that is ongoing now with a certain troll that they've got going on there. And this is everything that we need, guys. It is so much entertainment for us. It's great. I can't wait to go over this. This is brilliant. But some of my opinions you might be shocked about, and it may cause some of you just to walk away from me. I know. It's a risk I'm willing to take, because I have to tell the truth of the matter always, and sometimes the truth gets me into trouble. So, what's my opinion on Sarah Ingham's little tirade and what she's done? Oh my god, she's been up to no good. It could see her get deported from Dubai. Oh, have you ever thought about that, Sarah, when you'd say things like this, right? I mean, Chris, he's risked being deported already, and now Sarah's up to it. By the way, Sarah, just out of interest, why is it that you have taken to doing this and causing all this furor, and not your good husband looking to protect you, right? I'm sorry, maybe I'm old school and I think that, like, the husband should protect the wife, something like that. I don't know, you know, just gentlemanly, I think. But maybe I've got the wrong guy in Chris, thinking that he might be gentlemanly towards his lovely wife. So, let's get on with it, shall we? And see what exactly Sarah has been up to, because it's so much fun. It's my entertainment sorted anyway.
Right, I'm back with more requests for help. This one is very serious. It's going to be long as well, so I should have done it as a reel, not a story. It's going to be so annoying I have to keep stopping and starting. But I do need people. I need your help. I need help, because the police are freaking useless. I'm sorry to say, they're overstretched. I don't care what the reason is. They're not helping us, and we need this help. I do also want to say as well, before I start, don't anybody even think about coming at me for doxing.
I'd never do that, Sarah. I'm a man of my word. I will not come after you for doxing. Are you going to dox somebody? What the hell, Sarah? Calm down, will you? Look at the hell. Bloody hell. What am I on about? Bloody hell, come on.
I promise you, the police don't give two flying shits if I take a picture of Karen sat outside of work with a dog last week. They don't care. Don't come at me for doxing, because the police genuinely don't care. And I would never dox somebody who didn't deserve to be outed.
Absolutely, Sarah. I live by those rules as well. Hence why, you know, your address is all over the internet. Actually, having said that, I've never ever doxed you, right? As much as you think that I may have done, I've never ever mentioned your address. I've never, except for that one time. That was an accident, all right? I did it by accident. It was, honestly, it was a genuine accident, right? I've never revealed whereabouts you live, the town, anything. No, I've never done that. I've never done that. And yet you've done that multiple times. I mean, you're doing it here, right? So, who's the bigger person? Who's the better person? I think I'm the better person. I'm not better. Oh, fucking hell.
And I'm sick of protecting people, or feeling like I'm not allowed to say anything back, or I can't use my platform just because it's larger than their platform, but they can say what the hell they want about me and my family on their platforms.
True. I do get your way of thinking there, Sarah. You know, but this person has 19 followers. He does have 19. He has 19 subs. I'm sorry, there's a slight discrepancy between that and your 1.3 million, but you know, it's just, sorry, it's funny, okay? I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing with you, okay?
publicly, whatever. If you follow me I've been on TikTok now for about 3 months, something like that. About 3 months. I think I got it just before we came away. And I know loads of you guys have noticed a gentleman, no, not a gentleman, a scumbag on there that's obsessed. Like, so many of you guys know, because they were like, oh, here he is again, and he comes back with a different name, multiple a day, because I just block him straight away. And every day comes back with a new name. In fact, every hour he comes back with a new name.
He is a legend, is this guy. Yeah, we've all seen him. We've all seen his comments. They're very well put together. You know, the whole, oh, we're gonna, you know, you better not come back to the UK sort of vibe. You know, we're gonna get you sort of vibe. It's all fun and games, isn't it? Yes, I agree. It's a bit of a pain in the fucking neck, right? Okay. Best ignored. Best ignored. Difficult to ignore somebody who keeps coming back like that, I admit, right? And I'm going to talk a lot about how Sarah must have to deal with things from a creator perspective, because, you know, I've had that, not with him specifically. I mean, he has created new accounts after I blocked him in the past, right? But he's not obsessively trying to take me down. He's obviously gone for Sarah, and Sarah's not very happy about it, and I can kind of understand where she's coming from. You know, it can't be easy having morons come for you.
And it's just spams this comment section, and it's mainly about the younger three. His comments are mainly about the younger three children not being able to consent to being filmed. That's what he claims his issue is.
Side note, Sarah, are you ever going to address that issue, right? I mean, you mention it. You obviously know that there's a conversation to be had about it. Why don't you talk about that ever? How do the younger three consent to being filmed, for example? Anyway, that's just a side note I'd like you to consider for future videos, okay? Future Instagram rants, if you will.
And every single day it's the same comments, like hundreds of them. Now, what he doesn't like tell you guys when he's proclaiming to just protect the children, all I'm doing is trying to protect these children. What he doesn't tell you guys is the between 50 to 80 emails per day we receive from this guy. Per day. It's him and his mum. And I am going to out them. I've got a picture of them both, and I will be sharing it at the end of these stories.
Oh, if you think that's bad enough, it gets what? It's so much worse. What she does is so much worse. Right? It's brilliant. I am surprised about his mum, though, this guy, right? Because if you don't remember, right, a few months ago, I did a video on this very same subject, right? He has been all over the Inghams, like, to the extent where it is borderline just, like, he needs intervention, basically. And his mum came back and said, oh, that he's got issues, she's had a word with him and everything else, right? So his mum sounded like she was just gonna help out and stop this, but apparently his mum's behind it as well. That's interesting to note.
And their names, hundreds per day. I'll even share the emails. I'll screenshot the emails, a couple of them, and I'll share them now. Okay, here's one. It's titled, "You Will Be Dead Soon," as you can see. I really want you to piss off and die. I really want to kill yourselves, because it will be the best thing you ever did. Because if you were dead, it would mean your kids would be able to live a normal life. Some of you might actually agree with that.
No, Sarah. I think that you're very much mistaken, and nobody wants that to be the case, right? As much as we all disagree on each other, right? I don't think either of us want anybody to come to any harm, right? I don't think so. Certainly from my perspective, I don't want you to come to any harm, right? I don't like you, obviously, you know that. I don't like what you do, and I don't like what you, well, you in general, right? Sorry, it's nothing personal, but I don't. But that being said, I'm not like, I don't agree with what this person is saying to you at all, right? I don't agree with it, and anybody that does agree with it has their own issues, I'm guessing.
People that don't agree with my parenting choices, vlogging. That's actually a tame one. Let me see if I can find a different one. Here's another one. Start choosing your graves, your fucking coffins, and your fucking coffins, because you will both be needing them very soon. And that's not a threat. That's a fucking promise, you pair of fucking dickheads. Wow. Now, we are receiving these emails 50 to 80 times per day. Okay? And that's not as far as this guy's gone. I don't want to do a massive backstory because it will take... I'll be here talking all day. And then we basically block his email, and so then I'll set up a new one under like a random name like this one. Dean Morrison is actually called himself this on TikTok as well. This email... Look at this email, okay? Move out the way. Now you're back in the UK. Watch your backs. We're not in the UK, but you know. I will hunt you down and I will end you. You pair of child abusers are going to get what you deserve. I have been waiting to hurt you for a very long time. I might even head to the Taylor Swift concert and murder you while your kids watch.
Just as a reminder though, guys, if this guy was to do that, what he's just said, right, that would be worse than anything that the Inghams have done. Making their kids watch whilst he ends their parents. Yeah, no, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. That would actually make you worse, right, Perry? Yes, that's right. That would make you worse. So I'm not quite sure what point you're trying to get across here.
You dead bastards. Walk in. You really are. I will destroy you. You will regret ever stepping foot back in the UK. I will make sure you go running back to Dubai where you belong, you f***ing evil child abusers. You will be dead soon, mark my words. And guys, this isn't like an every now and again thing. This is constant. This is a constant, multiple times a day, every day. These are the emails that he sends. Like, just look at the titles of them. Now, not only does this guy say, and his mum, I don't know if it's his, well, it is his mum because she's commented as well on my TikTok quite a lot. But not only is this guy sending me these emails, he actually emailed social services in the UK, detailing in the woman on the phone, and I know some of you guys think I'm lying about things. I'm not lying, okay? The woman on the phone was almost crying having to read me this email. Because in the UK, when a complaint gets made, a malicious complaint, which we get them all the time whilst we live in the UK, we get them constantly, the social worker, has to inform us. No, I just filmed this whole section as a reel by accident. Anyway, here's a few more from the 25th of May. I don't know why these ones are May, actually. They're just ones that I had screenshot from, Chris sent me them in May. The only ones I've got access to at the minute. Anyway, it doesn't matter what you guys believe about social services. We have never, ever in our lives, ever had involvement with social services. We never have. We get malicious calls from them, from you guys, to social services monthly.
And this is why when they actually do something wrong, like proper wrong, that social services are less likely to take it seriously because of the amount of times that they get malicious reports about the Inghams. They don't take it as seriously as they should. So all you that report them for nothing, for basically, eating the wrong food or whatever, I don't know, it's kind of counterproductive. And when they do something really wrong to those kids, then the social services are less likely to take action.
And it is their obligation, anybody that works for social service will know this, has to ring us, let us know, hi Sarah, I'm sorry to bother you again, we've received, it's usually an email, an anonymous email, they're saying this, We know it's malicious. The case is closed, done, goodbye. That's how it goes. When this man, this Perry, he sent social services. Oh, it keeps cutting out. Right, I'm just going to do it normally because it's distracting with the pictures, but you get the gist. So he sent social services a very detailed email about how he was going to murder me and Chris, do disgusting things to Isabel, but I'm not going to go there on here. Murder me and Chris in front of the children so that they could see how strong he was, and what disgusting parents we are. But it was very detailed, like in detail how he was going to do it. This is what he sent social services. And he ended it by saying, and it will be all your fault to social services because you didn't take them kids away from these two scumbags, basically. So this woman, social worker, called me up. This was quite a while ago now, quite a long time ago, but they called me up, let me know about this email. She was genuinely nearly crying reading me this email. Told me that she was going to inform the police. I told them we've informed the police about this guy so many times and they don't give a shit. I'm sorry, but they don't help us. They're not helping. It's just like, we'll log it. And the same happened. She called the police called us. They told us that they'd advised us to put extra cameras in a spot on our house was set on fire. The back of our house was set on fire at 6 a.m. on, I can't remember the exact date, but it was May 2022. It was just before we went to Benidorm. The back of our house was maliciously set on fire. And we do have cameras all around our house. Your eyes. We do have cameras all around our house.
I'm sorry, Sarah, were you just having this little rant about this person who proclaims that he wants to have you ended whilst your child was walking around? Do you not think that that might be a little bit concerning to them, you know? Maybe possibly keep this all a secret from them, you know? Trying to keep them protected. I know you like to tell your kids everything, and you know, they've got to know everything that you do, right? But on this occasion, I think possibly, not worry them a little bit, you know. They're going to be going off to this Taylor Swift concert soon, and they're going to be worried about, you know, this random psycho, right? That is what's happening here, and you are putting that into their world, right? And you shouldn't be. You should be their protector, but yet again, you don't give a damn.
But there was a blind spot, and this person had presumably, because the police said and the fire brigade had done a, what's it called? They'd done a, what did the police do? No, it wasn't a test, an analysis type thing, and it was malicious. There was no way that fire started naturally. It was a malicious fire. Nobody was hurt or anything like that. But they asked to see the cameras, did the police, because they then had to pass this on to the police. I'm going off on a tangent here. But I just want you to understand the extreme of what we're dealing with whilst we're in the UK, because we've never spoken about this before, not properly. And it's one of the reasons we thought about moving here, because this has been going on with us for years now. So anyway, the police advised us to get an extra camera because we do have cameras on our house recording 24/7, and it is recording 24/7. So we got extra cameras and things. Nothing ever came of the fire. It's reported and logged with the police, as is everything that happens with us that just gets logged. But I actually thought when this Perry, did this to social services, that they would have to take this seriously now. Well, the extent they went was that they gave us a number, or they took our number, so that if we call 999, our phone numbers are a priority. So we would be priority over another 999 call, basically.
Is that a thing? I've never heard of this before, so anybody that knows, let me know. Is that a thing whereby, like, one person is a priority case over another person who has an emergency? Say if somebody else is dying over here, but Sarah phones at the same time, it would go through to Sarah instead of this person who's, like, you know, have a heart attack or whatever. I don't know how it works. Maybe that's right. I don't know.
But basically that was it. So we have to sit at home in fear from this absolute, clearly psychopath, waiting for him to come to our house to in front of our kids before the police are going to do anything. That's where we're at with the UK and the police, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying that they're not overstretched. I'm not saying that there's not jobs that... I'm sorry, but there's no... No, I'm sorry. How can they not be taking this seriously?
Well, Sarah, in the same way they didn't take my report seriously about you. I know. It's hard to believe, isn't it? Although something has been done, so don't just cross your fingers and hopefully your lovely little husband stays out of jail long enough. But the reason why they don't take it seriously is because at the end of the day, it's emails, right? It's comments in the comment section, right? It's not real life threats. That's what it is. That's the problem. It's not real life threats. When it trundles over to real life, then maybe they'll take it seriously. They don't give a fuck because it's online, right? Let's be real. That's why they don't give a fuck, because people say things all the time online. People say horrible things to other people online all the time, every single day. If they dealt with everybody that had were just like saying horrible things to other people, they would do nothing else, right? They would do nothing else. They have like a priority list of what is most important and things like that. At the end of the day, they've assessed your situation and decided that Perry doesn't pose a real life threat to you, right? And to be honest with you, I would agree with them, right? I personally think that he's talking and means none of it, because at the end of the day, I think he has issues of his own, his mental issues or whatever it is that he's got going on, right? And that's not to say that he couldn't cause a problem, but I personally think that he isn't. I'm not saying he's harmless. I think he's an absolute, and he shouldn't be on the internet. I think his mother shouldn't be encouraging him to do this. I think the things that he's saying to you are abhorrent. I think that the things he's saying to the kids or about the kids are abhorrent. If he's saying things like he's going to do things to Isabel, oh my god, right? Just no. None of this is okay. And I have to put my foot down and say that what Perry is doing is not okay, right? At all. And I don't condone it whatsoever. As many of you know, he's been on my channel before. I got rid of him because of the things that he was saying, right? Now, but is he a real life threat to Sarah and her clan? Probably not, and that's why the police aren't doing anything.
So he's not only literally sending us death threats daily, but he's detailing how he's going to kill us to people in power, social workers, and today also he's right there. You'll see the comments now. I doubt he's going to delete them because he loves the attention. But if you go onto my TikTok now, on my, which reel is it? On one of my reels, he is going for it. And he said he's not doing anything wrong. He's just trying to protect his children. So I've commented back to him saying, what are you talking about? You literally called social services and detailed how he was going to kill us in front of our children. And he's replied saying, so what? So what if I did that? You deserve it. He's admitting it. He knows he's done it. He's not even ashamed of it. Like, he's not even ashamed of what he's done. Like, he's fully like, yeah, and I'm protecting your children by killing you in front of them. He is a psychopath. Now, I don't care if you like me or like Chris, or whether you agree with what we do for a job, or whether you agree that I film my children on social media, or whether you believe stories that came out 8 years ago are true or they're not true. I don't care about any of that. I don't care.
Okay, I just want to quickly touch on that point because she's very, very slyly said she doesn't care if you believe stories that came out 8 years ago or are true or not true. That's not what this video is about at all, so I'm not going to go on about it, but I just like to point out that they were true and they are true, and there's no believing or not believing. Even Sarah knows they're true.
Nobody deserves to live in fear in their own home. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you've done. Nobody deserves this type of treatment, and they definitely don't deserve to feel like there's no help for them. There's no help out there. Like,
I know how you feel, Sarah. I know exactly how you feel. You imagine how I felt when a certain influencer with 1.3 million subs on YouTube went around and told everybody my name, my full name, that's right, my real life name, and where I lived. Oh, was it something like that? Was it something? Oh, that's right, also called me the NONCE words to all his little fans. Oh my God. And as you said, it doesn't matter how many people that you have, it doesn't matter, because once it's out there, and you have 1.3 million subs, Sarah, and those things hurt. And then to feel like nobody was backing me up, right? It was a. So I get exactly where you're coming from, Sarah. It must be awful. I know. I have a theory as well, right? Now, I'm not victim blaming in this situation whatsoever. I don't think that Sarah and Chris deserve this level of vitriol from anybody. I don't think that. There, I said it, right? And their kids definitely don't deserve it, right? However, there's one little thing that you can do to protect your children, Sarah, and yet you still won't do it, because we deserve to be able to do what we want to do. We deserve to be able to exploit our children for money, because that's what we want to do. We deserve to be able to pimp our kids out to strangers on the internet, because that's what we deserve in life, right? And things like that. But one thing you can do to protect your children is take them off social media and actually protect them. I'm not saying you can't do what you want to do. I'm not victim blaming in this whatsoever. I'm just saying you can protect your kids. You do have a choice in this situation. If you choose not to do it, then that is kind of on you, and it does kind of make you a shitty parent in that respect. But that being said, I don't think that they deserve this level of abuse at all.
I don't know, I don't know if some of you guys actually realise, and I know so many of I know the trolls are like, well, don't do your job, get off social media, that's all you have to do. Why? Why should we have to come off of social media? Why should we have to stop earning and living doing what we do?
Oh my God, Sarah, my God. See, this is where we have the difference of opinion and the frustration that comes out, right? You're saying, why should we have to stop doing what we do? Why should we have to stop making a living? The problem is that you are not making the living. Seriously, it's not you that's making the living. It's your children making the living for you. Do you understand the difference? Please, for the love of God, please let her understand it. It's so hard. It's hard talking to a brick wall, honestly. Sorry, I'm getting a bit sidetracked. This isn't about that, but it's the level of stupidity that she spouts that really frustrates me. I'm sorry. Yes, you should come off social media. No, sorry, I'll quantify that and say that, not quantify, clarify. I'm doing a Sarah Inghamism. Clarify that and say that, Sarah, you can stay on social media. We don't have a problem with that. You can, Chris can, no problem whatsoever with that. The kids, no, they don't. They can't stay on social media. You know why they can't do it. I don't have to tell you a million times a day just why it's a problem. However, you can stay on, right? We're not trying to stop you staying on social media. What are you on about? Who said that?
Why should we have to stop doing what we love just because someone else doesn't agree to it to an extreme where they need to come and kill us?
When you say why should you stop doing what you love, exploiting your kids, that's your dream, is it? Is that was your dream, to exploit your kids? I'm sorry to put a spanner in the works of your dreams, your hopes and dreams dashed, innit? It feels like a weird kind of dream that you had in life, you know?
Okay, so here he is today on TikTok. I'll try and move again. I was very clear. You literally send us hundreds of emails every single day full of death threats. You even called children's services and told them what you were going to do to us in front of our children. But yeah, and I don't know why it's put it down here. What's going on? Why has it got the sofa in? So I need to move the camera. But yeah, you've definitely not got anything to apologise, and you're definitely not in the wrong. And I don't know why that one's gone. Where's my hand? Down here. I don't know why that's gone down there. It should be under here. And he's put, so what? You deserve it. This guy's not bothered. And do you know why he's not bothered? Because the police are not bothered. Like, how am I supposed to come back to the UK with my children, a place where I should feel safe in my own home, and know that this psycho is out there?
He doesn't live locally though, does he, Sarah? He doesn't live locally. And the reason why I don't... the reason why I know he doesn't live locally is because later on in this video, you dox him, tell us exactly where he lives. I'm not saying that people can't travel. I'm just saying that this particular person, I'd be very surprised if he did, right? You've gone on about this whole fire incident. I'm thinking that's probably a separate incident. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it was somebody local to you, like a neighbour or something. Somebody that kind of caught wind of what Chris had done and maybe, you know, took it out on your property. But to say it in the same video as this person, I don't think it was him that travelled up to where you live and set fire to your property. Probably not the case.
And there's people online, and don't say, yeah, but you film your house. There's people online physically publishing our street, our address. Sorry, there we go. Physically publishing where we live, details, the address name, the house number.
Just to clarify here, if that is a veiled dig at me, right? I've never published the house name or the address or the street name ever, right? I've never ever done that. Certainly never published the town name or anything like that. Could be referring to Tattle, obviously. People do over there on Tattle, they do other things, you know. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't do that. I have, however, shown their house, obviously. You know that.
Don't come up saying, yeah, well, it's easy to find. No, it's not easy to find for some people like this weirdo. It's not easy to find for everyone. And it doesn't excuse why that's okay for you, a stranger online, to maliciously be posting our address for weirdos like this to find. Like,
I agree, Sarah. I agree. And maliciously posting personal details of people online to all your weirdos. Yeah, I felt the same. I did, honestly. I felt the same when you did the same to me. Yeah, I've already mentioned it in this video, but, you know, publishing my real name is not easy to find, as you know. In fact, my real name is actually quite difficult to know, right? It is quite difficult. Quite a lot of people, and I'm talking to you, Tattle, have it so wrong. You are so wrong. Fucking hell. Right, yeah, sorry, I just had to get my dig in there because Tattle seem to think that they have me pegged. They don't. Anyway, yeah, so my real name is not that easy to find online, right? Chris, however, knows it, obviously. You know that you know it. And he published it to his little minions, didn't he? It wasn't easy to find for anybody, in fact, as I said. And yet Chris decided to let everybody know. That was nice of him, wasn't it? Lovely.
I genuinely don't feel like sometimes you realise the seriousness of what you're doing when you're posting things like this. And then excusing it all the time. But yeah, well, you film in your area. You film your home. Yeah, well, it's easy enough to go online and do this and do that if you need to. Yeah, maybe it's for you, but not everybody knows that. And that still doesn't excuse why it's okay for people to physically, publicly publish somebody else's personal details online.
Agreed, Sarah, agreed. Now, I'm not going to go over it again, okay? I know, I've said my piece already, okay? You know how I feel, right? You know exactly how I feel. So, that being said, despite what you've done, I don't agree with what Perry's done, right? I think he's out of order. I think he is. And, yeah, you just, you know, you have no regrets, do you? Live life with no regrets, innit?
Like their address, and literally put their children and their parents in danger of death. Like, okay, I'm trying to round this up, but this is not even half of what we have to go through. And I don't talk about this. Chris doesn't talk about this. He may have like sly comments every now and again or shout something in the background of a vlog. But on the whole, we generally don't talk about the treatment that we literally receive from certain individuals. And this one's not even the only one. This Perry and his mum, these are not even the only ones. It's constant. And it's easy for you guys to be like, oh, Sarah's on Instagram again, raving about some man that's sending a death threat. So what? She should be doing this, she should be doing that. It's her own fault. She deserves it. I'm sorry, but nobody deserves to live like this. It doesn't matter whether you agree or you disagree in what somebody does for a living.
Sorry, just going off on a tangent. Sorry, I'm reading my messages, reading WhatsApp whilst I'm talking, whilst I'm listening, whilst I'm doing my video. I know, I should be paying attention, but just somebody's cracking me up on WhatsApp. Sorry. Where was I? Jesus Christ. Okay. So I agree, Sarah. I do agree, for what it's worth, that nobody deserves the level of vitriol that you're getting from this person at all, right?
Nobody deserves to live with freaks like this. I'm sorry, but that is something out of my nightmare. This is Perry, and I'll show you his mum now. Here's Dawn. Perry, is it Guilfoyle? Here's his mum. She also enjoys spamming us online and justifying her actions because she doesn't agree with what we do. I'm not here to take the mick out of anyone. I'm not here to take the mick out of how they look. I'm not encouraging...
I'm sorry, Sarah, but what? I'm not here to take the mick out of the way they look and then showed... You so were. You absolutely are right now. I'm so sorry, but you are totally taking the mick out of how they look. Absolutely. And you are, without a doubt, sending people to hate on them because that's what you do.
You guys to go and spam them, hate on them. I need to know. Somebody must know these two people. Somebody must know where they live. And you don't even have to tell me where they live. You don't have to tell me. Just tell the police. Because they are so freaking useless when it comes to... You'd think they'd just trace their IP address. Like, no, they don't have the resources. They don't have the time. Unless...
Oh my God. You don't have a clue what you just said. Do you, Sarah? Do you and Chris, merge with your conversations ever, right? So basically, if you don't know, Chris recently said that there's been a 6-year ongoing investigation about me from the police who are just trying to put the IP addresses together to prove I am who I am and everything else. But what you're saying, Sarah, is the police don't have the resources to trace one person's IP address, and yet they spent 6 years on mine. I feel lucky. I do. I feel so lucky and grateful and special that they will spend that amount of resources on poor little old me. Definitely.
If he comes to my house and kills me, there's nothing they can do. I've got 6 children. I'm not about to sit around and wait for this psychopath to come and kill me and my husband in front of my children. I don't even want harm to come to them. I just want the police to deal with them in the way that they should be dealt with, because what they're doing online is not acceptable. It is completely not acceptable to have a whole... and he does this to the kids as well. Isabel, Esme, not Isla, she doesn't have social media, but Isabel and Esme, they also get the same messages from him. What he's going to do to the mum and dad. And before you, don't let them have social media. I'm sorry, but they're teenagers that should be allowed social media.
I'm sorry, Sarah, but absolutely no way. Are you taking the piss? Are you Are you insane, right? Do you actually understand what you're saying, right? Okay, I know what you're thinking. Oh, teenagers, they want social media. They deserve social media. We shouldn't take social media away from them. Okay, yeah, brilliant. Every other kid has social media, right? I get it. What they don't have is a public account with hundreds of thousands of followers, right? That's what they don't have. That's where you differ. You don't understand that yet, do you? You still don't understand that several years down the line of constantly having it drummed into you, and you still don't get it. There's a huge difference between fucking Jane down the road having 10 people following them on a private account than Esme having 100,000 people with the public account. You know, there is a huge difference. Private the account. Keep the social media. To private it. My God, it's not difficult. Safeguarding 101. What do you teach them at the Ingham School of Excellence regarding internet safeguarding? Do you even have this conversation?
Stop trying to turn everything back on it being our fault. It's not their fault. They shouldn't have to come off of social media because Perry and his mum doesn't agree with what we do for a job.
I've come to the conclusion that Sarah is just thick as fuck. Isn't she? I mean, I'm not talking a foreign language here, am I? I know what I'm saying is true. I know what I'm saying is right. Everybody with half a brain can figure this one out. And yet Sarah still can't. She can't actually differentiate between public and private, right? Nobody is saying take your kids off social media in the sense that they can't have a social media account. They just can't have a public one. There's a huge difference. And yes, you as a parent need to do what is best for your children. And what is best for your children is not putting them in front of people like Perry, right? That is categorically not right.
Like, I just need to know. I think it could be in Wales. I think it's Wales, but I'm not 100% sure.
Is that a veiled dig at me again, Sarah? Yeah, we all congregate in Wales. We have a club. We have an anti-Sarah Ingham club down this way. You should come. You should join us. Come be part of our little club, Sarah. We meet on a Tuesday evening. So if you pop down, you'll be more than welcome. We'll give you some chai latte and biscuits, right? Okay? Pop down, you'll be more than welcome. Bloody Wales, indeed. She wasn't even close, by the way.
If anybody knows any way of who they are, you don't have to tell me. I'm not asking for personal information because I want to bring them harm. I just want the police to deal with them.
Is that right? You just want it for the police information? Well, it's a shame that you should reveal where they work then, isn't it? So this is somebody it's on TikTok. Hey. This is TikTok, and somebody says you need putting behind bars, and then you say you're not a bad person, good people, blah 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 blah, and then Sarah says, yes, he works at McDonald's. His mum doesn't have a job though, so that's great, isn't it? It's great fun, but I can't. You started off this video by saying that you wanted information for the police, and you've ended up by doxing his work address. Brilliant.
Because nobody should have to live like this. Nobody should have to live in fear. Nobody should have to have cameras on their home recording 24/7 because they're genuinely scared who's going to knock on their door during the night, or who's going to smash through the window, or who's going to post something through the letterbox. Nobody should be fearing their children, you know, like your children don't have a life, you don't let them out. Hell yeah, don't let them out. Not with psychos like this and people posting our address online so that it's obvious where we live, and people saying they're going to come and kill us and do disgusting things to Isabel. And do you wonder why, like, there's... Sorry guys, sorry, just follow my phone. But yeah, I just want some of you guys to understand, like, where we're coming from, why we felt like we needed to leave the UK, why we don't feel safe there. It's not to do with anything other than the main reason, the reasons that we've already said, but it is mainly to do with the fact that I genuinely am on like eggshells, and like, oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional, but like, we have to come back to the UK Why am I wait. Sorry guys, I was just trying to say that we have to come back to the UK. My children have a Taylor Swift concert that they've been excited for over a year now.
Right, so I want to put something out there, Sarah, and obviously it's too late now, you can't do anything about it, and you're going to say that I'm trying to victim blame, or you shouldn't be able to do what you want to do, or whatever. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but, you know when you said, or your kid said, or you said, we're going to go to the Taylor Swift concert, and it's going to be at this venue, at this date, at this time. That is when you put your kids in danger. Do you see what I'm saying? Why is this so difficult to understand? I mean, when you tell people where you're going to be at a specific time and day, that is a dangerous thing, right? For anybody, not just you, just anybody, right? You don't do that and then put it out to tens of thousands of people online. It's just not something you do. Most people wouldn't do it. Sarah, she thinks it's her right.
And it's a concert that I should be excited to take my children to.
What? You're not going? Sarah, you're not going? Are you? No, you're not going. Chris is going, isn't he? Chris is going with the girls, and you are staying. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're staying away so you can feed the baby. I think was the reason you put forward at the time, because Chris wants to go to a Taylor Swift concert with all the girls, not just his girls, all the girls, isn't it, Chris? All the girls. Yes. Oh yes, you know it's right, Chris, you know.
Not a concert that I'm now going to be terrified. I'm not going to enjoy the concert. I'm going to have 999 dialed on my phone. I'm going to be looking around at who we sat next to.
I'm sorry, hang on a second. Is she going? Genuinely, I was under the impression that it was Chris that was going, because remember when we all had a go at him, or we had a laugh about him because he would be going to a concert full of teenage girls, right? That's why I know that he was going. There isn't enough tickets for Sarah to go. Plus, she needs to look after the baby, all right? The baby, all right? Why is Sarah talking about having to be sat there looking around to see if anybody's going to jump out at her? That's not going to happen because she's not there. She's not going to be there. Why? What's going on? Somebody comment down below, please, because I feel like I'm being taken for a ride and I should love the feeling, right? Nah.
I'm going to be looking around at who's coming in. I'm going to be terrified leaving the arena. I'm going to be terrified walking into the arena. And it's not going to be a nice experience for me, also whilst trying to protect my children from knowing how I'm actually feeling.
This feels like a made-up story. I'm sorry, I've mentioned it twice now already, but she's not going to this thing. So why would she be walking into the arena, walking out of the arena, when she's not going to be there, right? Unless I've missed something. Have they switched? Have they switched positions? Is Chris now going to be the... Is Sarah now going to the concert and Chris is now going to be doing the breastfeeding? Because, you know, I guess that's possible, isn't it? But, yeah, also, Sarah, if you're trying to protect your kids about how you're really feeling, putting it out on Instagram is probably not the best idea.
Because I want to give them a good day. I don't actually even know what else to say. I don't even want harm to come to these people. I don't want anybody to start going and finding them and spamming them. I don't want any nastiness to come their way. I just want them to leave my family alone. I appreciate that people have different opinions. I don't agree with some of them, but that's life. Everyone's different. But nobody should have to feel terrified to come back to their own home or even their own country. Like, this man is clearly mentally not all there. Like, he's clearly got something going on, because this has not been going on for like a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of months. This has been going on so long, and he's obviously got a lot of time on his hands, which freaks me out, because he's there 24/7. He's always there. And you don't, this is not like a normal, like, online troll that just doesn't like your content. Like, this is an obsessed person, and people like him are scary. You don't know how far they're going to go, and I feel like we've got no one that can help us. Like, nobody that can make us feel like in any way safe. So I'm just going to leave it there. Oh, Aurora, because the children have come in the living room and I don't want to speak about things in front of them. So I'm going to leave it there. But if anybody does know these two individuals and you don't want to share that information with me, or you're a family member and you don't want to get them into trouble, or, I don't know, just please consider letting me know so that we can let the police know, like, where they are, who they are, and give them some information. Because no amount of, we've sent nasty messages back, we've sent messages back laughing at them, we've pleaded with them, we've begged them to stop, we've asked them nicely to stop, we've given them inspiration about how they could change their life around and maybe do something better. We've told them if they really genuinely feel for children in the way they claim to feel for ours, then there's so many children out there that are desperate for help, that are genuinely being neglected. We've done everything. They don't care. Like, they don't care. But if anyone does know them, please consider contacting me via email, because my inbox on social medias, I'll probably never find your message. But please consider emailing us and sharing some information so that we can just get them to stop. Nothing else. We don't want anything else. We just want them to leave us alone. And you don't, like I said before, you don't even have to give us the details. It can just directly go to the police, who will log it, no doubt.
So your ultimate goal is just to track this person down, get it to the police, sort it out. The police can sort it out and do their job, right? That's what you want. Well, why are you directing people to his place of work, for example, directing all the IFAM to attack them, and then telling them exactly where he lives, followed by his phone number? His actual phone number has been doxed. Oh, I love you so much, Sarah. You have you're an absolute gem, aren't you? An absolute gem you are. Oh, dearie me. Okay, maybe that's going a little bit too far. I'm not going to lie, right? Because at the end of the day, Sarah, we could all dox other people's phone numbers. It's not cool. It's not big. It's not clever. I could, if I wanted to, share with all my little fans. Little fans. That sounds very, fans. All my people, right? I could share with everybody Chrissy's phone number, couldn't I? But I choose not to, because I'm not quite like you. Okay, I'm not, honestly. As much as you think that I am, I'm not. So, yeah, that's a bit bad, isn't it? So what I did, right, because of course I did. I'm sorry, it wasn't with ill intent. And Perry, I'm sure you will appreciate ending up in a Dougal vlog, right? And yeah, I messaged him. So I said, hey Perry, this is Dougal. I just wanted to check you were okay after your war with Sarah Ingham yesterday. And he replied, so I was quite privileged, right? Not gonna lie, I was privileged. He said, yes, I'm fine, apart from I'm now getting constant calls and messages from IFAM who won't leave me alone. I guess Chris and Sarah got what they wanted though. So that just goes to show what's happening right now, in that Perry is getting the hate that Chris and Sarah wanted him to get. Clearly that was their goal all along, not to pass along to the police, because as Sarah said, the police don't do anything, the police don't care, and this is what she wants now, is people to attack him, and they have done, right? On the other hand, do I agree with what Perry has done? Absolutely not even close, right? Would I do the same as Sarah in this situation? That is a good question. I'm not going to lie, right? I'm not going to lie and say no, I wouldn't. If somebody was that threatening to me and my family, there's nothing I wouldn't do to protect my family, by the way. And I would call them out. It doesn't matter how many millions of followers I have. I blast them on social media. Don't give a fuck, right? If they were doing that to my family, yes, I would do it back to them tenfold. It will teach them a good life lesson. stop messing, stop being a prat, but worse than that word, right? And yeah, there we go. That's Sarah Ingham and her little rampage. I wonder though why Chris didn't get involved, why he wasn't the man of the house and actually do it himself rather than leave it to his wife to do. It just goes to show the type of person that Chris is. You know, he doesn't really care about his own kids generally anyway. So let me know, guys, what you think about this situation in the comments down below. It's quite a hell of a situation that was brewing, wasn't it? Let me know what you think, and do you agree with my perspective? Do you agree with Sarah's perspective? Do you agree with Perry's perspective? Now, there are so many different perspectives. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Give this video a massive thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you are new, because we are getting some really good hot topics right now. It's really exciting. I can't tell you just how much entertainment this is. I know there's kids involved and it's their lives that are in danger, but Chris and Sarah, protect your bloody kids, please. Thank you. Until next time, guys, have a brilliant day. Don't get perried. Come back again tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.